Words cannot describe how just underwhelming and disappointing the finale to this trilogy was, because oh my god. Look, I was a big fan of X and Pearl a little bit more. I think X was a very fresh look at a very, generic slasher film, and then you had the old lady and these very creepy scenes that were very unsettling, and the movies just shined in that department. Then you had Pearl, the prequel to X, which was one of the greatest acting performances I've seen in horror in a long time, like from since Hereditary. Really, it's just that caliber, and it's a very interesting take on the origin story of a serial killer in a future movie. But the continuation from X now to MaxXxine was a heavy, and I mean a heavy, incline or decline, whatever. I feel like Ty West had it figured out, and he just went way, and I mean way too experimental with this film. And he just tried to cram up so many different thematics like religion and Hollywood being weird, and the whole pornography thing, and like trying to still put together the things that happen on X on this one, and then adding the killer and all that stuff, the Night Stalker. Like it was too much. It was too much. The movie's pacing was also fucking awful. The movie's pacing was actually pretty fucking bad. Like there was a point in the movie where I'm like, bro, where are we going with this? It was nice, but like it just falls apart in the third act. It just becomes a very stupid film. It becomes dumb towards the end. It just kind of like lost its sense of direction. Like in a way, he didn't know what to do, so he just started experimenting and trying different things. And really, this is not even a horror film. This is like a fucking Al Pacino movie, like crime detective type shit, but just like the previous movie after that was just happened to be a horror film. Like there's nothing horror about this film. The kills are very bland and boring, most of them. There's like two cool kills, but even that is like, like what? Most of the kills actually happen off screen by the Night Stalker, to be honest. There's only like one or two that don't happen off screen. Only you can see like the bodies afterwards. I don't know, like this movie really missed the mark of something that could have been a very good, if not one of the best horror trilogies of all time, really. I would say, because I was looking forward to it. I thought Pearl was phenomenal. X was just a very enjoyable film, and I was really I didn't have high expectations, but I did have expectations because he went back to back great film. But it's the complete opposite. It's like a massive step down from the previous two films. Like I don't know how you missed the mark this hard trying to mix so many different thematics into one. Like you should just stick to the horror shit. If you were going to add the Night Stalker to this, you should have kept it creepier. You should have kept it more engaging, like add more tension instead of like a crime detective type shit, because to me that shit mostly didn't work. It just felt like I was watching a completely different movie, like a movie that completely stands on its own. I feel like someone that would watch MaxXxine and then watch all the other two films would still be like, what the fuck was the point of that movie? Like even if you watch this movie without knowing the other two movies, it would theoretically work, because it only connects like certain things, like the trauma MaxXxine has off of what happened on X. But even that, it's like, I don't know, it's like it doesn't really suit the mold the movie is trying to put it in. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't suit it. It's like it just doesn't work. Nonetheless, I don't think the movie is bad per se. It's not a bad movie, but it's absolutely not even close to the previous two. It's really not. The pacing was not really that good, and like I said, the third act completely falls apart. But other than that, I still think it is a serviceable movie. Like it's not a bad movie per se, but it's just like it really did miss the mark on something that could have been extravagant, right? We had, like I said, I just can't keep referring to this. It's just, we had X, and then like literally months later we had Pearl, like something I've never seen before in any genre, or in horror genre, really, in horror, where two movies get released in the same universe, or like back to back, like prequel sequel, and they're both just amazing films. We've never seen that before. And then now you have a lot of time to work on this film, and it turns out to be the worst in the trilogy. Like that shit, I just cannot grasp that thing. Like to me, it didn't make sense. It's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, how do you miss the mark this much when this is the movie you had the most time with? Technically, like you had the sources, you had the prequel, like you had Pearl, you had X. You just had to combine both of the things that worked in that film and then put it into this film, and it would have been the best film in the trilogy. But no, you decided to do something fucking experimental that completely missed the mark because you kept trying to add themes into it. There's just not much that anybody could have done. I mean, like, I feel like Maya Goth and Kevin Bacon both give astronomical performance, and everyone else could have given a very good performance as well, but everything was just so messy. There was like a lot of stupid comedy and humor and just things that didn't really suit the film or the trilogy at all. Like, at all. It just didn't work. It just didn't work for me. Like, like I said, it's just completely missed the mark, and I'm really just so upset that it had to end this way. If something was working, you should stay there, right? X and Pearl are two completely different movies, and it worked. But this one, you just went way out of the mark. It's just way out there. He tried to do something completely new, and by trying something completely new, you just ruined the entire trilogy. But that's just my opinion. And giving this movie unfortunate rating, I'm gonna give it like a 6.5. Like, it's really sad. It's really sad to see a movie go out this way. I just can't believe something that was looking to be one of my favorite trilogies in horror ended that way. It's just so upsetting, and I'm just so upset. I'm just ultra upset. Yeah.